Water is the foundation of life. Without it, civilization could not grow and cities could not exist. But how did ancient people secure clean water without pumps, plumbing, or modern filters? Imagine living thousands of years ago as your city rapidly develops. But there is one major problem: drinking water. Without it, epidemics will break out, crops will wither, and people will abandon the settlement. How did ancient engineers solve the challenge? In this video, we will explore the most ingenious methods of water collection and purification used by the great civilizations of the past. Where to find water? If you don't have a water supply, the first step is to determine where to find it. Water might be closer than it seems, but it's essential to recognize the signs that indicate its presence. Even in the driest regions, there are always ways to collect water if you understand nature's clues. Number 1. Obvious water sources. The first thing to look for is open water sources such as rivers, lakes, and streams. These are the most reliable sources of fresh water, especially if they are flowing. The fastest the river moves, the lower the risk of harmful microorganisms and bacteria multiplying. Stagnant water, on the other hand, is far more dangerous as it accumulates pollutants and pathogens. If there are no rivers or lakes nearby, but the morning is humid, pay attention to dew. Morning moisture can be collected from grass and leaves by wiping them with fabric or a sponge and then bringing the water into a container. This method is especially useful in desert conditions where water appears in the form of condensation. Rain is another vital source that should not be overlooked. Even if you don't have proper containers, you can dig a shallow hole and line it with a waterproof material to collect rainwater. But what if no water is visible? In that case, you need to look for natural indicators that hint at the presence of underground water. How nature reveals water's location? Even if there are no visible water sources, nature provides many signs that can help locate it. One of the most reliable indicators is animal tracks. Most wild animals, especially herbivores, regularly travel to water at dawn and dusk. If you notice tracks leading in a specific direction, they likely point to a body of water or an area with high moisture. Insects can also serve as indicators. Mosquitoes and bees rarely settle far from water. If you see swarms of mosquitoes or bees flying nearby, it suggests a water source is close. Green vegetation is another crucial sign. In dry regions, patches of dense greenery often indicate underground water. Plants like reeds, willows, and cattails are particularly water sensitive. If you find them, there is definitely moisture nearby. Extracting groundwater. If there are no open water sources but nature suggests the presence of underground water, you can try digging a small pit. Water tends to accumulate closer to the surface in lowlands and at the base of hills. If you dig a hole 30 to 50 centimeters deep, water may start seeping in after a few hours. This process takes time, but in survival situations, even a small amount of moisture can be life-saving. In sandy areas, you can dig in dry riverbeds. Even in the surface appears dry moisture may still be present a few dozen centimeters below. But even if you successfully collect water, it doesn't mean it's safe to drink. The next step is purification. How to purify water? Water that appears clean is not necessarily safe to drink. It may contain bacteria, viruses, parasites, and even heavy metals. Drinking unpurified water can lead to serious illness. Filtration. Removing dirt. The first step in purifying water is filtration, which removes physical impurities such as sand, silt, leaves, and other debris. One of the simplest filtration methods involves using natural materials. Build a primitive filter using several layers. Bottom layer, small stones for coarse filtration. Middle layer, sand to trap fine particles. Top layer, charcoal, which absorbs harmful substance and improves taste. Pour the water into the top and allow it to pass slowly through all the layers. This method effectively removes large contaminants but does not eliminate bacteria. Boiling, the most reliable disinfection method. After filtration, the water must be disinfected. The simplest method is boiling. Bringing the water to a boil and let it continue boiling for 5 to 10 minutes. High temperatures kill most bacteria, viruses, and parasites, making the water safe to drink. Solar distillation, extracting fresh water if the available water is too dirty or salty. Solar distillation can be used. Dig a shallow hole and place a container in the center to collect purified water. Cover the hole with plastic or fabric, placing a small stone in the center. Under the sun's heat, moisture will evaporate, leaving contaminants behind, while condensation will drip into the container. This method allows for the collection of drinking water. Finding and purifying water is not just a survival skill. It's a fundamental pillar of any civilization. Without access to clean water, no society can last long. We explore key methods for locating, purifying, and storing water. Now, you have knowledge that could one day save your life. But water is just the beginning. If the world as we know it were to change, would you have the knowledge to rebuild it? How would you gather food without stores, make tools without factories, or build shelter without modern technology? The book is an encyclopedia of forgotten technologies that may become essential again. It contains step-by-step instructions on the most crucial aspects of survival and civilization building, from making paper and melting metals to constructing buildings and create basic electronic. Want to be prepared for any scenario? Order the book now and gain knowledge that may one day be more valuable than drinking water.